people who don't agree with you. Nazis. Nazis were for censorship. They oppressed everybody. They oppressed Jewish people. They oppressed Christian people. They oppressed gay people. They oppressed African people. They oppressed everybody who did not agree with them. Look at yourself and look at them. Then look at yourself. Do you see where I'm going with this? You oppress people that don't agree with you, that make something that you don't like. Take this word of advice that Penn Jillette once said. Shut the fuck up. So, it's crazy how people react to this whole Joker thing. You're making a film about a villain. You're making him sympathetic. I don't see the point. I don't see the problem with it. You look at Killing Joke. I mean, I wasn't the biggest fan of Killing Joke. I know it's a shocker to people, but you had sympathy for the guy, but you really, at the same time, really don't have sympathy. Now, the reason I especially don't like the animated film Killing Joke, because it's a really bad film. It's just an awful film. I don't like it. So it's one of those films that I actually bought the DVD of it, and I never watched it. When, people are talking about it, like, I seen Killing Joke, it's like, I haven't seen it yet. And I finally watched it, I'm like, this film sucks. So I ended up getting rid of it. I just didn't like it. I was just like, here. I gave it to somebody else. I was like, take it. I don't want it. It's kind of like that with Curse of the White Knight comic. I haven't read it yet. A lot of people are like saying it's okay. So I haven't read Curse of the White Knight. I did buy Batman 78 and 79. And of course I bought the Confessions of the Caped Crusader, which I did a review of. If you haven't heard it yet, check it out after the show. It's not bad. I don't know what to think of it. You just have to hear my review of it, what I thought of it. So I'm still reading some of it. Yeah. I wish it was more of a graphic novel than, like a novel and with some illustrations in it. Like the way they presented it, I thought it was like a graphic novel, comic book, So anyway. So far it's been revealed that Spider-Man, who's back in the MCU, will be in 2 films. Do I believe that they're going to do more Spider-Man films than just 2? I believe that. Just noticed I thought I cut my elbow, but I just bruised it. So anyway, do I think that they are going to do more than 2 Spider-Man films for Marvel? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I think they are going to do more Spider-Man films. I believe it. Because here's the thing. Spider-Man is actually more successful than than Captain Marvel. I don't believe that they are going to just make Captain Marvel the centerpiece of the whole MCU. I don't believe it in my guts. I mean, if you think about it, Phase 4, the Phase 4 MCU, there is like no announcement for a Captain Marvel, except Miss Marvel, but that's for television. I mean, once they got back Spider-Man, bam! Spider-Man is coming out a month before, I forget what other fucking film they're coming out. It's coming out like a month before some DC film or a month after a DC film. But if you think about it, there is no fucking way that Marvel is just going to be like, 2 films, alright, and just move along with it. They got to be like negotiating with Sony. They're going to be like, listen, we put him into Phase 4. We need more. Spider-Man means a lot more than the other characters we have. I mean, they need to like make an example that Spider-Man is the centerpiece of the MCU. I mean, they got Black Panther 2 coming out May 6, 2020. But it's in development. You already got Spider-Man 3 in pre-production mode. But there is just no way that they are just going to be like agreeing to 2 films. There can't be like. And I love the rumor that Daredevil might appear in it, in the 3rd Spider-Man film. I just hope so. I hope so. I know that I know that it's just a rumor, but I really want to see. I really want to see Daredevil in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I want to see the actor who played Daredevil in it. I really want a Daredevil cameo. I just want him to show up. I want to see Matt Murdock show up and, tell Peter, like, I'm your lawyer. I know that you're having, you want to sue J. Jonah Jameson for saying that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. Then all of a sudden, like, Matt Murdock kind of knows that Peter's Spider-Man, and just some funny moment. Like, I really want to see Daredevil come back. I really got annoyed that Netflix canceled it. That Netflix just, they pulled the plug on it. It's done and over. It's just like, I can't live with that. Like I could let Ghost Rider go by, which pissed me off that they canceled Ghost Rider. It's just like I really wanted that fucking show. Ghost Rider is like one of my favorite Marvel characters. I know a lot of people don't care for him, but I really like Ghost Rider. I really like the burning skull driving the motorcycle, like, even though it's different, Ghost Rider, he's driving a car, which is dumb. How are you supposed to strike fear into somebody? But, for me, it's just, it's annoying. So, let's talk about, who do I think will be the villain of Spider-Man 3? I tell you this, I I never got to see the sequel, the Far From Home, I think is what it's called. Once I saw like Mysterio or Mysterion, I forget the fuck his name is. The guy with the fishbowl head. Oh, Mysterio. Oh, okay. I was gonna call him fishbowl head, but once I saw him, I was just like, this is dumb. Like this is. I understand that they want to do different villains because we got, Green Goblin and Spider-Man 1. Then we got Doc Ock, which I thought was brilliant because Alfred Molina is one of the best actors. If they're ever going to bring Doc Ock back, bring him back. You got J.K. Simmons, great. Bring back Alfred Molina as Doc Ock. Then you got Sandman, which Spider-Man 3, I know a lot of people have problems with Spider-Man 3. Not the MCU Spider-Man 3, but the Raimi Spider-Man 3. But Thomas Hayden Church was brilliant as Sandman. He looked like Sandman, which was awesome. And he made the character sympathetic. Which I know a lot of people got upset that, Peter Parker forgave the man who was involved with his uncle's death. But that was the theme of it. Of Spider-Man 3 was the Venom symbiote thing was used for anger, hatred. It fed off of his anger and his, hatred. And the thing for Peter to do was to forgive. He forgave Harry Osborn for being a dick, for ruining his life and his relationship with Mary Jane. Then he forgave the man who was involved with his uncle's death. That was the true motivation in Spider-Man 3 was forgiveness. You don't get that in a story. That was a good story. I know a lot of people hated Spider-Man 3, but I loved the soundtrack. The soundtrack was pretty damn good. Which I always miss those in films nowadays. I know they did it with Suicide Squad, but fuck that film. But that was the thing that made Spider-Man 3 a decent film, is like get to look in the deep meaning of the film. And for the Far From Home sequel, I always hate it that way. It's like Homecoming was like the lamest name I've ever heard for a Spider-Man film. And Far From Home, and I'm sure this one's going to be called Spider-Man Close to Home. I swear, if it's close to home, they need to pay me money for that title. Spider-Man Close to Home. Or Spider-Man Home Protector. Or, Spider-Man, your friendly neighborhood home Spider-Man, or Spider-Man Homegrown. They're going to come up with something just for the home products. So, for me, it's annoying. It's annoying that how the title is. I wish they would have just called it Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, or Spectacular Spider-Man, or Peter Parker Spider-Man, something. So, for me, the villain I want to see in the next Spider-Man film is Rhino. I know that Paul Giamatti was going to play Rhino in The Amazing Spider-Man, which those two films were, it was not bad, but they took a good title and ruined it. I would love to see Rhino in the next film. I don't know who they would get to play Rhino.